Hello, welcome everyone for a look on why a Hoya would produce a lot of mutated leaves and panicles. If you give the correct care for your Hoya, the vine will grow and bloom a-okay. But unexpectedly, things can go wrong for the physiology of the vine because of natural changes or our own mistakes. This, as you already know, is my Hoya densifolia, 4 months being repotted into cocoa husk. It has already outgrown its trellis. Not only that, all the new growths ended up having misshapen or mutated leaves or just bare stems. This vine was growing pendant and quite established at the time of purchase. Therefore, not having a trellis is not a problem for this Hoya vine. The produced multiple panicles bloomed too. So I experienced some pluses by this naturally endured stress. Yeah, everyone, this is a stress blooming, and the stress was caused by high amounts of sun and low amounts of fertilizer. Abnormalities like these can occur in any part of the vine, and let's do some learning before we dive into a mode of damage control. The signs of mutation in Hoyas, man-made or natural: drastic size changes of leaves that would get either big or small from regular size, misshapen leaves, color changes in leaves, a boom of panicles, mutated blooms, and irregular growth patterns in vines. Even though we do not consider a few large leaves or an abundance of blooming as signs of mutation, since a surge of fertilizer can easily induce double-sized leaves and more blooming in a vine, what I mean here includes out of the ordinary behavior that can take it on a downward spiral. 3 main reasons for plant stress: over and underwatering, fertilization or exposure to light that would cause sun damage and malnourishment in vines, pest or fungal damages, media breakdown, or an overdue repot. Important: what you must not do when it comes to all the first 5 points is to repot. You must first allow only sufficient watering and fertilizer and more air movement. Find out what's lacking in your nutrition and spray the relevant fertilizer: nitrogen for leaves, phosphorus for roots, and potassium for flowers. Moving the vines to a less lit spot, elimination of pests or fungal diseases. And lastly, when your vine health is back to normal, you can repot. If you remember my last year Hoya videos, these vines were kept under direct morning sun, and some were getting sunshine all throughout the day. So I thought by choosing to expose them to full sun all day long would further stress the leaves to a nice color and get them to bloom. But since Hoya densifolia is not a Hoya that could be sun stressed, it took to produce mutated leaves and blooms due to the very unwelcome surprise in our weather conditions from last December. When it was supposed to cool down, we were hit with very extreme dry heat with rain in some nights, which the Hoyas did not agree with. I immediately moved the plants to a shadier spot because these stresses were mainly caused by the sun, and early morning watering or fertilization was a must in my care until the time passed. And I believe I shouldn't fertilize when the sun is high to avoid leaf burns or root burns that would further stress the plants. The high heat being the first. The second reason is reducing the times of fertilization because it was too hot in the mornings too. By my own fault and forgetfulness, even failed to fertilize in the evenings. However, Misses of fertilizer for smaller periods of time would not cause any nutritional deficiencies in matured vines. On the same line, manual fertilization is a must since these are cultivated and not grown in the wild. I up the nitrogen levels because that would enhance leaf health in addition to being in the shade. Since the growths from the bottom of the vine too were an indication that it is on the mend, I took that opportunity also to repot the vine and pull down the trellis way down in the poles too. But here you cannot always apply orchid care to overall epiphytes and do a repotting as soon as you see an active growth mode in a vine, but wait until the new leaves fully mature or establish, because if they do not get the same amount of nutrition and a stable condition to mature their leaves, they may halt, elongating, or drop off altogether. So if there are signs of growth, wait until they mature. It's a decision you have to make relying on your good judgment. If you're still unsure, you can ask me. Finally, everyone is seeing the vine being repotted into a total inorganic media, that is lava rock and charcoal, from a total organic cocoa husk. This is a huge change for the vine, but the vine is mature enough to withstand the media change and a total new environment inside the roots. The panicles have reactivated. You guys know these vines would do that when they are in stress too. But I hope the transformation into the inorganic media would be easy for the vine, and time would tell. Rounding up, mutated leaves usually happen because of two main reasons. It's either over-fertilization or overexposure to light. So therefore, what you need to do is to cut down those two immediately if you are encountering mutated leaves. Once you reduce light or fertilization or give the correct fertilization to get the vine up to its usual performance, you can wait until any new leaves mature. Then only you have to repot. I have lost many Hoyas by repotting too quickly before getting down the stress factors to a minimum. Therefore, watch out what you do with your Hoya so that you will not lose the money you spent on importing all these exotic and uncommon types of Hoyas that you have purchased along the way. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you understood what I've meant to teach you all, and hope you'll have an easy journey with your Hoyas, taking the tips I gave you into account, and stay safe. Thank you very much for watching my video. Until my next, bye bye.